Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. Sorry I wasn't with you yesterday, but I sort of ended up with this cough. I couldn't stop coughing. I couldn't even stop coughing long enough to make a video. And before anybody mentions anything, no, it is not COVID. It is something I get now and again. And usually when I get it, sometimes it gets so bad I end up having to get antibiotics. But it seems to be dispersing today. It's not quite as bad. So I'll probably be able to get rid of it myself without having to go to the doctors. So if anybody starts making comments thinking it's COVID and telling me to get tests and everything, I know it is not COVID. Like I said, it's something that happens to me every so often. So I'm going to try and make this video, but if I do start coughing, I will just edit out those little bits in the in the video. The only problem is usually with this, when I have this, as a lot of women in my age will know, that you have a bladder problem as well. And usually I'm better sitting outside the toilet door when I've got this happening. But I'm okay at the moment, and this is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and so I'm on to my afternoon things, which is daggeries. I'm onto the sleeves, doing the sleeves. I finally sorted out the front, where I showed you I had a little bit trouble with the splitting the V-neck parts up the middle, and I hadn't decreased enough stitches, but I'll show you what it looks like now. Well, that's one mistake put right. You know, I should trust my gut when I'm doing things like this. I knew it wasn't right. I had a better look and I could see what I had done wrong, so just got to do the sleeves and put the neck on, and that'll not take long. They're just short sleeves. As you can see, or as you just seen, looks a lot better than it did on the other little bit of video that I showed you. The fronts match up perfectly now, where they didn't before. And so I'm knitting the sleeves and onto the shaping, and I've put little, you know, those little rings at you, little stitch markers. I've got one on each side because I don't cast off the stitches for this, and it depends on how many stitches you need. And when you cast off stitches, like I cast off stitches when I did the back and front, I casted off 8 stitches here. But if I cast off 8 stitches here, that's going to give me less stitches for doing the shaping up around the top. So I just start shaping off straight away. I don't cast any stitches off. That's the way I do most of my set-in sleeves. So I've just put these little markers. I have got those other kind of markers. You can see I've got them in a bag here. Those little ones like that, which I do prefer to use those, but I want to keep those as I'm doing the little one here when I finish, for doing the fronts, for putting the bands and that on. I haven't got many of those left because for some reason they're not very sturdy. Some of them do snap because you have to pull them apart to put them on. These ones are better for putting onto your needles when you're knitting and you need a stitch marker. So many, that's what them ones are better for, but they'll do for this. I'm not that bothered. But anyway, I did my knitting this morning. I've got the back done, this little 22 to 24 inch. Got the back done, and I like the way it's come out. The stripes have come out quite even on this. I don't know if every ball is the same, how, you know, the distance to put all the the different colours, but this one seems to have come out even. The pink and purple here, and the cream and white here, and then the pink and purple again, the cream and white, and naturally it's went a little bit further up there because I've been shaping up the thing. But I like the way that one came out on that one. And I've also done part of one of the fronts. I've got we've still got a way to go on that to get up to the armholes, but it's coming along nicely. And I was just looking at the pattern for this one. I was just looking at the little baby on the front, and I'm looking at that picture. I don't think that little baby was happy about modelling that little cardigan. I can tell by her face and the little hat on her head. You can see one of her ears shown. I think she's been trying to pull the hat off her head. Because, you know, little babies don't always do what you want them to do you? That's was that like anyway I was looking at it. And like I'm saying, I'll put that down in a minute, Daggery's cardigan. But I have been doing a little swatch. This is Aaron. I want to pull that bit out. I've done a swatch, but I haven't taken it away from the bowl because I'm just going to pull it out first. But I'm just letting it settle. And I've done a swatch. This is for when I do Janet's cardigan. And I'm doing Janet's cardigan from this pattern. The only thing, this pattern, I have to do a 52 for Janet. This pattern only goes up to a 44. So I do have to work out the extra size for this one. But these King Cole patterns seem to make things a lot larger than is necessary, because I went by the stitches. I think I worked it out for a larger size. They have 111 stitches for a 44 inch. And I've worked out this one here that I'm going to be doing. I only need to do about 2 sizes bigger than that from the stitches, and 2 sizes bigger would be 48. So I think they do allow you a lot more in the size with these ones. That's the sweater on the back of it, and the headband I've done before. But that's the one I'll be doing after I've finished Daggery's. Like I'm seeing, I only have just a little sleeve like that. It's just a little short sleeve, and I've got to finish that sleeve and then do the other sleeve, put the neck on, and I'm putting a little small pocket on because that was on the original packet, that pattern that Daggery gave me a link to. But I couldn't work the pattern out from, wasn't a very good pattern. Look at it that way. So that one I will be starting probably either tomorrow or the day after. So if you're watching Janet, yours will be next. Then I think I have Claudette's after that. And then Sarah. So, and I think that's all I have for now. And I do not want a lot of orders really, because I want to get out into my garden. We've been getting some nice weather lately, but I have not really been in the mood for gardening. I don't know why. It is a lot of hard work for somebody my age, because the garden has to be dug over if I want to grow any vegetables, but I just don't seem to be in the mood. And then when this coughing thing started, it wasn't yesterday, it was a couple of days ago it started, and that would have put me off anyway. But anyway, I'm getting on with this little bit knitting. But I have been on I've had my tablet on all morning. I have a lot of music in it, and I just felt like an Elvis Presley day. I love Elvis Presley, any of his music. I've loved him since I was a child, since I very first seen him in the, I think it was Love Me Tender. That was the first film I ever seen him in, and I've loved him ever since then. So I've been listening to Elvis Presley all morning. It makes you feel good when you listen to a lot of lot of songs, the old songs now, like, but I don't know how I happened to have this song in the middle of it, but this song came up, and I have a like a folder with all Elvis Presley songs in. But this song came up by some of you older ladies might remember it, but I don't think the younger ones will. It was called was a Guy Mitchell, and she wears red feathers and a hooly skirt. That song came on, and I remember thinking, oh, my dad used to love that. He was always playing that. So I think some of you older ladies might remember that song, but it was very popular at the time. It was a bit of a comic one, really, like. But anyway, I'm getting on with my knitting, and after this, later on tonight, after my tea, I will be doing my own knitting. It's an easier colour to knit of a night time as well. And I didn't get much done last night. I started watching one or two films. I have one or two films on my computer, and I watched the one called The Wolf and the Lion. It's a proper recent one, and it was a very interesting story, and I really enjoyed it. And it was about this young girl. She had this like island place, I think had been left to her by some relative that had passed away. It's in Canada, I think it was. And there was a plane taking a lion cub to a circus, and this plane crashed in the middle of the beside this place in this little island where this girl was. But there was also a wolf, and this girl had saved this wolf from some trappers were trying to capture her, because she was a white wolf. They were trying to capture her, but she had managed to get out. They had put some sort of netting, caught down some netting, and she had managed to get out, but she had some of it trapped around her hips and thing. The girl found her, and she took the she managed to get near enough to take the netting off. But while she was out, something happened with the little cub that had crashed in the plane that was in the trees and that, and it fell out of the tree into the girl's arm, and she didn't know what to do with it. She took it home, and it was a lovely story about how the lion, the cub, and the wolf. There was the wolf, the white wolf, came into the girl's home carrying a little puppy, a wolf cub. And that young girl brought that wolf cub, because something happened to the mother. The mother was captured and taken to one of those sanctuary places, and those that didn't realise that she had a young pup. And the girl looked after the pup and the little lion cub, and they were brought up together. And they were saying, which was very strange, because a lion and a wolf would have nothing to do with each other in the wild normally. But it was a really nice story, and I thought it was just made up for film and that. But there was a little bit come on at the end, but I couldn't understand a lot of it because it was in French. I think it was in French, but there was a little bit at the end that said something about a Canadian sanctuary, so I realised it was a true story. And if anyone comes across it, it's called The Wolf and the Lion. They want to watch it. It's a really nice film. And that's my little bit for now anyway. I'm getting on with my knitting. At least I only coughed a couple of times through this video. It's not too bad. So I'll catch up with you all another time. So thumbs up and subscribe, and bye for now.